Hello, this is David. Today I'll be doing Lab 5, and Lab 5 consists of installing and configuring a routing and remote access, which is RRAS abbreviated. We'll be doing exercises 5.1 and 5.2, and what we'll be doing overall, we'll be adding another NIC card to our servers for our total of 2 NIC cards per server, and we'll be doing this in a VM environment. We're going to configure the multiple network for each server for the 2 NIC cards. We'll be configuring a firewall exception. We'll be installing the routing and remote access server row, and then we're going to configure static routing. And if you notice down here, I've sort of set the 2 servers up. I've got the 801 and then the 802, and the NIC cards I'm going to configure them as a 192.168.10.1. On the NIC 1 and NIC 2, I'm going to make 11.1. And then over here we'll look. You notice I sort of got them reversed. NIC 1 I'm going to configure as 11.2, and NIC 2, that was for NIC 1, and NIC 2 I'm going to configure as a 12.2. And as you see right off that the 12.0 network will not be accessible from server 801, and the 10 network on server 1, you will not be able to get a hold of it either, even though they are on the same link, same network, with the switches and routers, but they will not be able to get to the 10 network. But you notice here that the 11.1 and 11.2 is in the same network, which is network 192.168.11.0. And then once we get everything configured, here will be our static route on each of the servers. This will be 801s here. We're going to configure the network as 12.0, and the gateway is a 11.1. Then over here on 802, we're going to configure the network 10.0 with a gateway of 11.2. And if you notice, this is how we're going to configure our routers on our static route to use this 11.0 network. So let's get started on it. First thing we need to do is you need to add another NIC adapter to your server, and what I've done got them installed, but I'll show you how to do it. Just go to your settings, click add, and we'll give it a yes, and then just click on a network adapter. Come on. Then it'll select, make your selection here, and next, and it'll put your network adapter up there. We can just close this. And as you notice here, both of my network adapters are sitting on host. I've already done this for both of the servers, and so I'm going to boot them up now, and once they come up, we'll configure the IPs on them, and then we'll see if how we can ping each other between the 2 servers. Okay, our servers are booted. Now we're going to give the network adapters, the NIC cards, their static IP, and to do that, I just went to the server manager, brought it up, and then you can view your network connections, and then right click on them, go to properties, and select, we're going to use the IP version 4 here, network adapters. We'll go to properties, and looks like I've already got the static IP address in here of 10.1, and with a gateway or subnet of 255.255.255.0, and just say OK there and close. And then we'll do the same thing on the other network adapter. Only we'll be changing the IP address on it to 11.1. So we've got our 10.1 and 11.1 network adapter set up. We can close that out. Now let's go to the other server. We want to view the network adapters, and we're going to be doing the same thing with these, but we'll be assigning the NIC 1 here an address of 11.2, and NIC 2 is 12.2. Here is NIC 1's card. It's 11.2 with gateway 255.255.255.0. So we'll get the adapter 2, NIC 2 settings here. Go to properties, and we've got it set for 12.2. The next thing we need to do, we need to set up a firewall policy. And to do that, let's go back on. We need to do this on both servers. So what we'll do is go to Admin Tools, Windows Firewall, and Advanced Security. And once it comes up, you'll see the inbound rules. Just click on it, and then right click, click New Rule. And we want to do a custom rule. If I can get my next key up there. All programs. We're going to start that again. I canceled out of that because I couldn't get to the screen at the bottom. So I want a new rule. And then we're going to select custom. Let me raise it up here a little bit further where I can see what down is at the bottom. Click next. All programs. Next. And here's where we need to set our protocol. And we need to set it to ICMP version 4. And then next. And next again. Take the default on that. And allow this connection. Say next. Domain, private, and public. Take the default. We're going to give this name allow lab ping. And we want to make sure that that is up and running, which shows in the green. So what I'm going to do now is pause the tutorial here and do the same thing on the server 802 with the same firewall inbound rule policy. Now what we're going to test now, we're going to test our two NIC cards in each server. And you know, remember, if we on server 801, the NIC cards are 10.1 and 11.1. So we should be able to ping them internally. And there's the 10.1 we got a ping. And here's the 11.1 and here's the ping. And then on server 2, we done the same thing. We tried to ping these two NIC cards, the 11.2 and the 12.2. And as you see here, here's our 11.2 ping and our 12.2 ping. Now what we want to try to do, we want to try to ping the 12.2, which is the 12.0 network. We're on server 801, and this NIC is actually configured on the server 802, and we got it was unreachable. And if we go over here and do the same thing, try to ping 10.1, which on 802, and 10.1 is the one configured for 801, it was unreachable too. So now what we want to do, we want to install our network policy and access server row. And to install that row, all you have to do is bring your server manager up, double click on your rows, and click on add row. And we'll be doing this on both of the servers. Actually right now I'm on the 801. And click on add row, bring it up here a little bit, next. And we want the network policy and access method. We'll check it and click next. And we'll click next, and we want the routing, and it'll prompt you for additional row services, and we'll add the required services. And then we'll click next and install. And I'll be doing this on both the servers. This is the installation process. It'll take 15 to 20 minutes on this machine, and that I'm running the VMware in. As soon as it comes up, we're going to be configuring our static routes on our router. And earlier I talked about the NICs being on the same network here. This is 11.1 and 11.2. It's on the network 192.168.11.0 network, and that's how we're going to configure our routers. And it's just a software router, but it acts almost like if you've taken the Cisco courses. If you've got an interface to another router, you need to have them on the same network. And as you see here, we'll have them on the same network, and that's how we're going to be configuring. While our row continues installing there, I actually configured using the Cisco packet tracer. Just imagine these as this is the 801 server, and this is the 802 server with the two NIC cards. There's NIC 1, which is 11.2, and NIC 2, which is 12.2 on the 802 server. And then over here on the 801 server, we got the NIC 1 card, which is 10.1, and the NIC 2 card, which is 11.1. Just imagine this right here as being the 192.168.11.0 network, and you see that's just like two routers is what our servers is going to be doing software-wise, emulating. I thought this was a pretty good diagram to show you how things was working. Now we've got our row installed, so what we want to do now is go to our admin tools and our router and remote access. We want to set our static route up, and we're on server 801 here, and we want to set up a static route to go to the 802, and we're wanting to configure it. We're going to configure the network 192.168.12.0 network as our destination, and we're going to set up our gateway to go to here. We already got it here, but to do that, you just bring up the routing and remote access. Click on this and expand your group or your server, and we want the IP version 4. And what we done is you just click on, hold on a second there, we just went to add new route, and on the routing, and it'll bring up the routes, and bring it up how it looks here. We configured our network 2 card, and here is the 12.0 network with our network mask, and then our gateway is going to go out our 11.1. So we'll get over here on 802. We've got our 802 server up, and I'm going to show you exactly how we've done that. Just click the plus sign on your server here, and then we want to go down to IP version 4, our static routes. Right click on it and say new static route, and we want to configure, let me see which NIC card we want to configure our NIC card 1 on our 802 there. You notice here on our 801 we configured the NIC card 2 as our gateway. So we can close this out. So this is our network NIC 1 card. Our destination network is 192.168, and on it we want to put 10.0, and then we'll put our mask in 255.255.255.0, and our gateway is going to be going out our NIC card, and which is on it is going to be the 11.2, so 192.168.11.2, and say OK. Oops, if you get everything right, 255. What it was fussing about, it was this 1 up here in our destination, and that's not a network address, so we want to change that to 0. Get on it here, delete that, and change it to 0. We don't want 10 either, we want 0. Okay. Okay, so what we want to do now, while we're here, let's just see if we can ping that 10 network. We're on 802 now, which does not have a 10 network association, 10.0, excuse me, network associated with it. So let me get down here. Okay, we're getting to that network, so let's go over here to 801, and let's see if we can ping the 12.2 network. And there you go. We've got our router set up on our Windows server. That concludes this tutorial. Thank you.